name is Vish Co and I am a grade 10 student from Lances International School. For my personal project, I decided to create an online educational platform for classical music related topics through the virtue of educational videos. So basically it's similar to Khan Academy, right, where it's a website which you can visit online, but it's got a bunch of educational videos but not covering maths and science, instead covering classical music related topics. Now, I've always been very passionate about classical music, and I've also been quite interested and quite passionate about teaching, sharing my knowledge and connecting with people. So I thought this was a very good way to do both. That's one major reason why I chose this project. Another thing that inspired me to go in this direction was that when I searched for cohesive platforms for if you want to learn music theory or maybe something about classical composers or stuff like that, I was unable to find, particularly in musical theory. There were not any good high quality platforms available online. So that's a very big gap which I saw, and I thought that I have both the capabilities and the desire to fill it. So that's another major reason why I went ahead and did this. So my project in general can be divided into 4 main elements. So the first one is the creation of educational videos around music theory.
Hello everybody, I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day, and this is lesson number 9, lesson number 16, lesson number 30, lesson number 38, lesson number 45 in our dive into the wonderful world of musical theory.
So my goal with these educational videos was to create a sort of course which, if you completed, if you did the worksheets, if you paid attention, and if you wanted to learn, you could be musically literate by the end of the course. You could be able to read, write and understand written music, right? And that was my goal going into it and what I wanted to complete with these lessons. As you might imagine, that's not a very easy feat, so it took me over 47 around 10-15 minute lessons to get to that level. That's the syllabus I wanted to cover, and now post I can happily say that I have done that and I filled that void. So you can go to www.vishco.org right now and you will find 47 lessons in music theory which will take you from the very beginning till a point where you can feel confident reading and writing written music. That's the first element which I the second element was once again educational videos about orchestral instruments and orchestral dynamics. So I'm sure we've all seen and heard of the symphony orchestra, with that one guy waving a stick in the front and then 10,000 different instruments, and I'm sure we've all, especially as kids, say like, oh my god, how can so many people play together? So it's quite an amazing feat, and I thought what I did in those videos was I break down what is the anatomy of an orchestra, so what instruments are actually there, why are they there, what are the different sections, and then we also went and individually talked about each and every separate instrument. So here's a violin, here's a structure, and this is why the violin is important in the orchestra. Here's a bassoon, here's how it looks like, here's what it sounds like, and this is why the bassoon is important in the orchestra. So I broke down each instrument in about a 10-minute video, and I also did one big video about the structure of the orchestra. So I made about 13 educational videos in that particular field. Now the third element of my project was creating educational videos about classical composers. So what I've said till now could be about music in general, but this is where it very much went into a classical music direction. As I've said, I've been quite passionate about this area, and we hear about Beethoven and Mozart, but the greats. But I thought we'd not only talk about their life, their music, and break it down at a fundamental level, but also talk about what makes them so special. So as someone who may not be so familiar with classical music and wondering, hey, why are these 3 people? Why is Bach? Why is Tchaikovsky? Why are their names imprinted in history? What was so special about their music? I try to answer these questions. Why was the music special? Why are they remembered in these videos as well? So we cover many of the major composers: Vivaldi, Paganini, Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, and many others as well. So these were the 3 main topics which I wanted to cover through my personal project, and all in all there were about 67 educational videos which ranged anywhere from 10 minutes to 40 minutes depending on the topic I was talking about. Now I mentioned that there were 4 elements. The fourth element was creating a website or a platform to keep all this stuff on. Now, I could have gone and just put it on YouTube, but especially because I was inspired by Khan Academy, I thought it's best to create a website where it's, you can, where it's a click away and I have control of how it's laid out and how you interpret it. And so that's why I chose to create a website as well. So you can go to www.vishco.org, which is the name I chose for this for this platform, and you will see it all there, all 67 educational videos. That was the fourth element of my personal project. And after having done all of this, I think I've been quite successful in filling in that gap which I identified towards the initial parts of my project. But overall, I finished doing it, and I am happy that I did. It's been a great experience, and that was my personal project.